So hi, welcome everyone. I'm so excited to be here training for my friend Danielle's team today. I feel very blessed. I'm excited to talk about something that is a topic that I'm passionate about, a topic that I feel like I'm really good at, and something that I think everyone has the capability to learn. So if you don't already know me, my name is Ashley South. Maybe we met at conference if you were there. I hope we got to hug and say hi. If not, hello. I've been with Color Street about 20 months now. I'll hit my 2 years at the very end of October. I started with no experience in sales whatsoever. I had never sold a dang thing in my life, had never done direct sales, didn't think I could do this business. Initially signed up just to steal the kit. So when we're thinking about enrolling, don't exclude the kit stealers because they could be your next Ashley South. But I want to talk today about how I teach my team to enroll and how I teach them to utilize a hot and cold list in their going for no system. So before we talk about that, enrolling is the way to have a successful booming business. All right. I don't really, at the end of the day, I don't really care about sales. I usually sell between $1,800 and $2,400 a month because I do a lot of parties. I do a lot of parties because I want to enroll. And enrolling is the key to building a successful business and having good structure. If you want to make good, stupid money, building a team with strong leaders is the way to do that. It is not through sales specifically. Now, sales and parties will get you people to enroll. But enrolling has been my ticket to success. I hit executive in 5 months. I hit national in 9 months. I did that because I was a very, very high enroller and I was able to build my own team structure. I was able to reward good leaders on my team. There were some months where I made 10 placements under one human being that deserved it. There were several months in my first year where I enrolled 16 people in a month. And so when you are a good enroller, comes a lot of freedom and flexibility to build your own team and to hit high ranks and to make really, really good money. I'm motivated by money. Maybe you're motivated by recognition or being on that stage. Maybe you're motivated by the community or other things. But I like to talk about money because that's what motivates me, and putting food on my family and being able to be home with my kids instead of working, grinding out of the home has been a huge blessing for me. Enrolling is also important because we have to keep doing it. Never at any point have I been like, oh, I hit national, I built my team, I can slow down on enrolling. No, no girl. And I just want to be real here that if I enroll 10 people a month, only 1 or 2 are ever really going to amount to be an exceptional stylist. I'm not even talking about leadership capability. I'm talking about like, are they really going to party and work their business? So I'm going to be real on the stats here, you guys. Really think about it. Like, I might find a leader 1 out of 10, 1 out of 8 if I'm lucky. It's hard to build a team without leaders. And so if you are someone that is enrolling maybe 1 person every few months, you're not only going to not maintain your rank, you're going to fall in rank. People will drop off in this business and you're not enrolling enough to get enough to find your next leader. You're not going to find your next Danielle if you're a slow enroller or you're very rarely enrolling. So I make enrolling a priority in our business. And I really work with our team on maintaining a hot and cold list and how to work through objections with following up and with following through. So I enroll at a high rate because my goal is to get those leaders, and you have to be enrolling consistently to find them. You're going to enroll a bunch of people that suck. That's okay. You're going to enroll a bunch of people that fall off. That's okay. You cannot motivate everyone. It's not a reflection of you. If someone falls off or doesn't want to work this business, you keep enrolling until you find your next Ashley South. That's what you do. You keep trucking. You can't make someone motivated. I'm looking for the self-motivated self-starters. That's what I'm looking for. And if I enroll enough, I will find them. All right. So enrolling is the ticket. It is the ticket to success. So I'm going to talk about a system here that I call the hot and cold list. A big issue on my team when I'm talking to my team about enrolling is I have people on my team, let's say they're selling $2,000 and then they want a coaching call with me because they can't enroll. This is what I hear. Well, I've been working with this girl and like, she's been on the fence for like 3 months, but I can't enroll her. And I'm like, okay, but like, who else? Who else are you working with? Who else are you trying to enroll? And they're like, oh, well, just this one. I really have been putting a lot of time and effort. I've really just been trying to get her on my team. I really want her. And I'm like, that's great. Like, I understand you. Who else are you working with? It's like an either or mentality with them. And they always put all their eggs in one basket. And I'm like, no, girl, we need to get you a hot and cold list. Okay, so a hot and cold list, a cold list would be a list of people that maybe you have reached out to or been interested in the business. Maybe you have tried to enroll them they ghosted you, they slow played you. Maybe it was a long time ago that they were maybe thinking about starting a business, or maybe they like gave you an inkling of an idea. Maybe they were an old party host that you weren't able to flip, but somehow it fell off, or they haven't been on your radar for a long time. They're going to go on your cold list. That's a list of people. Now we're going to talk about the hot list. The hot list is anyone you actively are trying to get on your team. They're people that you want now. They are people that you are working and following up with and consistently checking in with and reminding them why they should do this business. They're your current party hosts. They're any past party hosts that were freaking banging. I'm telling you, like, you know who these people are. I can identify a very self-motivated self-starter, and I think of myself almost as like a sports team recruiter. Don't look at this as like, oh, maybe you want to do this with me. No, girl, I want you, and I will hunt you down, and I will convince you that you can do this. I'm going to believe in you because I want you on my winning team. I need you. I need you. So that's my hot list. Okay. Your hot list should not be one person. Your cold list should not be one person. If it is, you're doing this business wrong. I like to start off, whenever I'm talking to people, I start off with the business opportunity first. I don't start off asking for a party. I don't start off asking if they want a sample. The best thing that I sell, you guys, is the business opportunity. Nails don't change someone's life. Putting nails on someone isn't going to change their life. The flexibility and freedom that comes with running this business is life-changing. I'm doing them a disservice if I don't offer them the business first. It can change. What they do with that is up to them. If it's not their jam, it's not their jam. Then I can bump down to a party. People typically don't want to say no to you multiple times. It's just like a human thing. Okay. So then I can bump down to a party. Then I can bump down to a sample very nicely. Okay. So I start off with, I don't talk to random people, and we'll talk about how to use this form. I get to know them. I build the like, no trust factor has to be there before I talk to them first. I need to know about their lives, but I always start off with the business opportunity first because it's the best thing I offer. And that's the thing with leaders. I'm not selling nails anymore, you guys. I'm selling a lifestyle. I'm selling a business and an opportunity for people to change their life. So you've got to change your mindset on what you're selling. Are you selling nails, or are you selling a life-changing business? Because I'm selling a life-changing business to people. That's my goal. All right. So I need to identify someone's hot and cold list when I'm working with them to enroll. I'm going to say for every $500 you sell, you should have 3 or 4 people on your list. All right. That's low. Typically mine is more like 5 or 6, but people get all nervous when I'm like, ooh, you should have like 12 people. 3 to 4 people on your list for every $500 you sell. So if you sell $2,000, I darn well better see 12 to 16 people on your hot and cold list. Maybe both, maybe it's 6 on hot, maybe it's 6 on cold, but you're doing it wrong. You are not utilizing the people you need to reach out to. If you're selling $2,000, there's a crap ton of people that are interested in this business that you just aren't reaching out to. You're not looking, you're just thinking in your head, like, I can't ask them, oh, she makes too much money, she wouldn't want to do this. Oh, like she's got 6 kids, she's stressed. Her husband just got diagnosed with cancer, I couldn't approach her now. You ask everyone. It is not up to you to decide whether the business is for them or not. So rule of thumb, every $500, there should be 3 or 4 that you're actively working. Because if there's that many people buying, either it's a few people buying a lot of product, or it's a lot of people buying. Either way, you have a warm market there to enroll. It's there. You're just not looking for it. But once you start looking for it, you'll realize there's more people for the opportunity than you actually think that there are. Okay. So get those numbers down. I want you to, in the comments, I want you to write down how many people you typically ask a month for the opportunity. So go ahead in the chat feature. I'd love to see how right now. Now this is going to change. We're going to work on this. But right now, how many people do you approach with the opportunity, the business opportunity? Not samples, not parties. How many people are you trying to actively enroll a month? And then I want you to tell me in the comments, how many people on average do you enroll a month? First, I'm looking for how many people you ask. Then I'm looking for how many people you enroll a month. Okay. So if your goal is to promote and rank, you have to bare minimum be enrolling 2 people a month. I say it's 2 to grow, 1 to maintain. If you want to maintain your rank, you at least have to be enrolling 1 person a month. If you want to grow and rank, your goal should be 2 or more each month. Okay, because you have to account for attrition. People will fall off. Sally will think that this is too hard. She doesn't want to host a party. People fall off. This is not the business for everybody. Not everybody wants to be a hard worker like us. Okay. So the goal is for 2 a month. So if you're enrolling 1 person a month and you're only asking like 5 or 6 people about the business, what do you think you need to do mathematically to get that to 2? You probably need to double the amount of people you're asking, right? Like just mathematically, you need to bump up that number. It just really comes down to volume. So if you average 1 person a month that you enroll, but you're only asking 6, 7, 8, we need to get that list to, what is math? 12 to 16. Okay, so we need to double that hot and cold list of people that you're reaching out to and talking to. All right, super easy concept. What gets measured gets improved. That's a saying that I love to talk about. You've got to measure what you're doing. You need to know the numbers of people that you're reaching out to. You need to know the numbers that you're enrolling, because if you want to double those numbers, you just simply need to double what you're doing, double your effort. All right. So I have this form. It's called I call it the Going for No form. Let me get the book. Actually, there's a book that goes with it. So I read this book. It's called Go for No. He actually made a new one now. I haven't read it, but it's called like Go for No for network marketing. But this is a really easy, fast. I think I read it in like 45 minutes on the way to the beach. It is by Richard Fenton and Andrea Waltz. I can always screenshot it for you and send it over to Danielle too. It starts off as a story, and I was like, this is kind of dumb. I don't want to read a story, but it's actually on the premise of changing our mindset that we need to be going for no's. No is the way to a yes. Are you stopping on your first no? Most of the issue is that my stylists get a no and they stop. They get a no and they stop. What we're looking for is a no. The no is the way to a yes. My first year with Color Street, I enrolled 109 people in 1 calendar year. This year alone, I think I'm like 9 months in, I've enrolled 68. Do you know how many of those people give me a yes on the first time? Almost zero. Almost zero. On average, it takes me about 6 or 7 reach outs and working through objections to get someone to enroll with me. You know why? Because they're filled with doubt. I thought for months that I couldn't do this business. I was just going to steal the kit. The only way I'd enroll, because there was no contract, I thought I was going to fail and I thought I was going to suck at this. So if Ashley Self thought that, I guarantee you, everyone else that I approach is filled with the same doubts and worries and fear of failure that the rest of us are. So if you are stopping at your first no, you need to go back and add all those people to your cold or hot list again. They still want this, and you can work them through it if you're willing to get a no. So what we're looking for is to create a no list. I want to see how many no's you're going to get a day. I don't care about the yeses, and I don't want you to stop when you get a yes. You stop when you get so many no's a day. That's the premise of this book anyways. No is the way to a yes. You build connections with people, you build relationships with them, you can work them through their objections. And we have to learn that no is almost never a no. A no to me, like a soft no, is like a, oh God, no thanks, I'm just so busy right now. Oh, like it just, direct sales aren't for me. Oh, like whatever the objections are that we hear, that's not a F you, leave me alone. No, that would be a hard no. I would quit on an F you. I'd be like, cool, dude, sorry. Nope, no worries. Everything else I can work through slowly over time with many, many reach outs and getting to know someone. I can show her she can do this. I love a no. It's like a game for me on how can I convince this woman to believe in herself? How can I talk to her and show her that she can do this? How can I show her she can fit this in with her busy life and 6 kids and husband with cancer? Because she can. I can show her over time. So we're gonna want to start filling out a Go for No form. So this is the form that I like. So you're going to utilize your hot and cold list. All right, you should have a list. If you don't have one, I want you to go through old messages. I want you to go through every order you've ever gotten in the VO and identify who should be on your hot and cold list before we start filling out this form. Okay. And if you want to get for no's, like if you're only enrolling 1 person a month and you want to enroll 3, I want you to triple that number and put it up here. I want to go for 30 no's this month instead of 10. I want to go for, 24 instead of 12 or whatever. So you're going to put the number that you're going to try to reach this month to hit your goal. All right. And then what I want you to do is start building relationships with these people. You're not going to hit them up right away with the ask. We need to have it's called the like, no, trust factor. You have got to build a relationship not built around Color Street before you ever approach them with the opportunity. All right. So on average, I try to have conversations with them 3 or 4 times before I ever talk about the opportunity. So every time I want you to put their names here in this list. Maybe they're not even in your VIP group yet. That's okay. Do you have a friend that you think would be amazing at this and you haven't invited her into your VIP group yet? That's okay. Put her name on here. We're going to reach out. We're going to talk to her. We're not about Color Street. We're just going to start commenting on her cute kid. We're going to ask her where she got her outfit from. We're going to talk to her about her purple hair. Whatever it is, we're going to create conversations that are open-ended questions, engaging, and we're talking about them. I don't care if you have a similar story as her, you don't say it. I don't care if you also have a kid with special needs, you don't, well, maybe you might do that because it'll connect you. But the goal is to ask her about her because people love talking about themselves. That's it. It's a favorite thing to do. Every single human's favorite thing to do is to talk about themselves, period. So that's what we're going to do. So you're going to put her name, whoever you want to reach out to and you'd love to have on your team. You're going to put it there. And when you've had your first conversation, I'm just going to put her name Sally. Let's say you really want Sally on your team. When you have your first conversation, I want you to put a big ass dot right above her name. Just a dot, one dot. This is not like high tech stuff, guys. Okay. I've had one conversation with Sally. I'm going to put a dot. That's it. Maybe 3 days later, I noticed she posts a really cool vacation picture. I talked to her about her vacation. I'm going to put my second dot. Second dot. A week later, I see that she blah, blah, blah. She went shopping. I don't know, whatever. I'm going to put my third dot. And so now I'm going to decide, do I need to build more, or is now a good time? Do I know enough about her to maybe talk to her about the business opportunity? Okay. One of my favorite conversation starters with someone is, what do you do for a living? Or tell me about your job. Because a lot of times they're going to ask you what you do too. This is your in. Don't be all spammy pammy in someone's inbox. That's uncomfortable. If you're asking someone about the opportunity in a way that you would find creepy or pushy, don't do it. Do it in a way that you would enjoy. That's very, very simple concept. I don't like there's people in other direct sales that I don't know and they add me right away and they're like, hey girl, I'm like, first of all, you don't know me. Bye. Like, that's rude. Take the time to get to know me and you might be able to sell to me properly. I want to be sold to, but you got to know how it will benefit me and bring me a solution. So I want you to put dots whenever you have built relationships with them. And if your goal is to reach out to 30 people, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you need 3 pages of this. So you're gonna have a bunch of dots. Got it? You got to be working those relationships, building the like, no trust factor with them before you ever hit them with the opportunity. All right. And then I want you to reach out to them and put the date that you first talk about the business with them. Okay. So I'm going to reach out to Sally. I know that Sally's husband lost his job. By now I've talked to her. I follow her on social media because I'm checking. If there's only 2 dots, I'm going to go see what she has going on. Let's say I know Sally's husband has lost his job. Let's say I know Sally's about to have foot surgery. Okay. I've asked her how she's healing, blah, blah, blah. I said, like, whatever. I'm talking to her. And I know that they could use some extra income. Sally seems very lonely. They just moved to a new city. Sally doesn't have a lot of friends. I only know this stuff because I've taken the time to get to know her. I need to know her first before I approach her with the business opportunity. Okay. So I'm going to reach out to her and be like, hey, Sally, I don't know if this is going to be weird to you or not, but I have to ask you because you are just so incredible with social media. I see all the things you post every day. I just wanted to let you know that I think you'd be really great at being a Color Street stylist. Would you like any more information on it? It's really great income, and we have such an incredible community of stylists and friends that I never knew that I could have. I've asked her a question. I've just asked if she wants more information. I have complimented her. You find me a woman that does not like a compliment. She's never going to get mad at that. I have told her how amazing she is and what she's amazing at. Pretty easy intro. She might be like, oh, you know what? It's a really stressful time right now, but that's very nice. Like, maybe another time. I'm like, so cool. I understand that. Like, I wish you well on your surgery, things like that. Don't get mad at me if I check in with you again, though, because you're just that amazing. Again, complimented her. I've just told her I'm going to check back in. And so it's as simple as that. So I'm going to put down today's date. I'm going to check that I talked to her about enrolling. And then I'm going to put, I got to know, and then I'm going to put the notes. She said, not right now. So now I know it's a time objection. She probably, and really what she's telling me is that she just doesn't believe in herself. She needs me to convince her she can do this. We all thought we were too busy to do this. Remember, we all thought that, but we can do it. So now I know that I need to check back in with Sally. It may take me 6 or 7 times to get Sally to say yes. And that's very normal with enrolling, you guys. You've got to learn how to work through objections, and you'll get better at it over time when you start talking to people. It's not something you're going to start right off the bat being great at working through objections. I promise you, you will get better. So the next time I'm going to talk to Sally, maybe a month goes by and we have a big launch. Maybe, I just enrolled another woman whose husband also lost his job, and she just, hit team leader and she was able to pay off a bill. Maybe I have a story I can tell Sally. I'm going to look for a reason to reach out to her and make it applicable to her problem and give her a solution. So I'm going to write down my second reach out. RO stands for reach out. So I'm going to write the date of that, when I'm going to ask her again, because she's on my hot list. Okay. I'm not going to stop until I get a hard no, which is basically like a leave me alone, or I've tried multiple times with her on different levels. So I'm going to reach out to Sally again, and I'm going to be like, hey girlfriend, your vacation looks so awesome. Like, how is your husband doing? How's he, or like, how are you recovering from foot surgery, whatever. She's going to tell me like, yeah, it's great. I'm just home a lot, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, hey, well, I just wanted to reach out. We have a big launch coming up in a week. Our sales are going to be crazy. I know you happen to be home recovering right now. Now would be a great time for you to do this and provide some extra added income to your family. Can I send you some more information? I think you'd be great at this. I might get a different objection this time because I just hit her with the solution. She might say, yes, she's interested. She may say, not right now or whatever. So I'm going to mark that down, how that conversation goes again. All right. I need to get to know Sally better, and I'm going to keep working through them, and I'm going to keep finding reasons to keep checking in with Sally. All right. Now, let's say you get an objection and you don't know how to work through it. You don't know what to say. This is so normal. The biggest thing that my team struggles with is language. They struggle with, they're like trying to convince someone to enroll. They feel spammy. They feel inauthentic. So this is where you find a really good enroller on your team. Every team has them. Everybody has them. And you ask them to check your language. If you're reaching out to 30 people and you get 30 no's constantly, it's your language that needs adjusting. It's not your efforts. It's not the amount of people you're reaching out to. You need to change your approach. That's it. It's just a simple language tweak. And I do this all the time, you guys, with my stylists. And I encourage them. I'm like, when you get stuck, when you have someone you really want on your team and they give you an objection, please screenshot it and show it to me. Please, please. And so I'll walk them through it. And I'll even do a voice message and tell them how I will walk through that objection. And I'd be like, I like them to tell me first. I'm like, I'll give you my answer. I want to hear how you're going to handle it first. Tell me. Go ahead. Let's practice. So now we're getting dialogue and we're learning. And I hear what she's going to say, and I'll be like, hey, that was really good. I loved that you talked about this and you connected with them. How about maybe giving them a third person story too? How about maybe you share the story about Suzanne on our team, who also has 6 kids and just promoted to director? I would include that in. That would connect with her. And they're like, you're right. I totally can talk about Suzanne. That's a great idea. So you're going to learn from the people that are really good at language on your team. Use each other. Use each other. It's definitely helpful. Another thing with enrolling, when you're going in this going for no mentality, is that sales won't be spammy or uncomfortable if you're coming from a place of love and service, and if you're offering someone a solution. Okay, it should always be about them. It should never be about you, ever. Whether you're asking for a party, whether you're asking for them to enroll about the business, ever. It should be about how this business can help them. And you don't know how this business is going to help them until you get to know them. You've got to know their thing. Okay. And so she might say, I'm too busy, I don't have time. But you need to think what the psychology is behind that. Is she really, or is she just nervous and doesn't believe in herself? Do you need to keep convincing her that she's amazing and pointing out the things that she does well? More than likely, she can do this. She just doesn't believe in herself. So you need to provide her a solution. And so we think of all the reasons why people join this business. It can be for the community. Not everybody joins for the money. Some people want friendships. Some women want something where they feel important. They feel valued. They get recognition. Maybe they don't feel valued at home, or they need something for them. They need to feel important again. Some people do it for the money, whatever. Like some people really need the money, or they like money. Money is a driver for them. Some people, their love language is gifts, and they love cards from their upline, or they like, earning that BQ necklace or whatever it is that we gift out at times. So finding a solution for their problem is going to be key. If I'm just saying, hey, I'd love you to enroll with my team, it's so much fun, you're going to love it. Is that really providing a solution to her? Or if I say, hey, I know that you would love this community. We have so many women that help each other and show up for each other. And we have a walking club, and we have a group for special needs moms where we meet once a month and we do all these things together. I know that that's going to bring so much value to your life. Would you like some more information on what we do? There's a huge difference there because I'm providing her a solution. So when you're selling, whether you're trying to get a party host or you're trying to enroll, you need to make sure that you're finding how it's going to help them, and you're providing them a solution. That it's never about you building your team or you hitting your rank or you doing anything else. Okay. So finding the solution, doing your reach outs and going for no, and then tracking it, you guys, track it. If you've reached out to Sally several times and you can't get past that objection, reach out to an upline that has a lot of experience enrolling. There are people on your team that can freaking sell anything to anybody. Okay. I'm one of those people. I can work through I can find any negative and turn it into a positive. I can find anything possible and work through any objection. There are people that are good with objections on your team. Ask them for help. Ask them to read your language and your message, and then you will get better over time as you work through those objections. All right. So I would encourage you to utilize this list. And then if you want to, if you get an objection and you get a no, I do have the party option on here. You can bump down to a party. If they say no, but they really love the nails, or if they say no and they're a customer of yours, that's when you say, hey, I totally get it. Like, being a stylist is not for everyone. Can we do a party for you? Can I earn you free nails? Let's do this. You're gonna love it. You already have had a few friends order from me. Let's get nails for you instead. She's gonna be like, oh, all right, sure, why not? Then you can do a party for her, and you can flip her into a host or into a stylist afterwards. You can show her how she does this whole business. I just did a training this morning for Brittany Metke's team on how I hostess coach and flip my hosts, and I can send that over as well for you guys to see. But I always start with the business first. If I have to bump down to a party, I will, but I'm not going to quit when I get a no. I'm not going to quit unless I've tried and tried again. My best stylists on my team, it has taken me sometimes 8 months to get them on. 8 months. I long game this. I don't short game it at all. I think of it like I'm a sports recruiter. There's a girl that I always talk about. Her name's Mikkel. She was a customer of mine forever. She had pop in social media. She had a personality that was so contagious. I loved everything about her, and I wanted her on my team. And she was not interested at first. And me asking her put the idea in her head. And she's like, no, my husband's in the army. We're moving. I know she moved. She was stressed. I reached out again. Hey, this is a great way to meet new people in your area. You can meet other moms this way. No, it wasn't the time, but blah, blah, blah. You know, her husband wasn't into it. So I tried 8 months, you guys, and she's killing it. She's freaking killing the game. She finally said yes to me. But if I had given up and been like, no, I was like, I want her, and I'm going to try until I get her. And that's okay. I got a lot of no's. I probably get more no's than anyone else even tries. And that's why I can enroll so high. So I'm going to just cover some of these questions here in the chat. Christina says, in parties, do I focus on recruiting as well in those, or booking new parties? You mean like from the party attendees, do I focus on enrolling or booking new parties? The only reason I do parties ever, the only sole purpose of my parties is to enroll. I don't care if I don't make a single sale. I mean, I do, because it helps me to enroll the hostess. But I do book a lot of parties from those parties. But my goal is to flip that host, and now she has all of her nail bars booked for her. I'm going to teach her how to run all of those nail bars, and I'm going to walk her through all of them that I just booked in her party. So I cover all of that in my hostess coaching training, and I will send it over to you on how I coach my host. I have her doing all the work. Like, she doesn't know it's work, but I basically, in 7 days, she's become a stylist. She's gone live once. She's posted once a day. She's hyped up her nails. She's made posts and polls on her social media. So by the end of her party, I can be like, girl, you would have made $1,600. You sold $400 in a week. You would have sold $1,600 this week, hit your jump start, earned all these free nails. You did this. You had 18 people come to your party. You had 9 that bought from you. Why are you not doing this? And then in her party, I also I give her a free set incentive. I'm like, hey, anyone that you can talk to and reach out to and tell them how awesome this party is and all your rewards, if you get someone to book a party with me, I'll give you a free set right now. You don't even have to wait for that. You'll get the money later if they do a party. You can pick out any set you want from my stash if you can connect me with someone that wants a party. She knows her people better than I do. I have her doing the work for me. I'm not trying to reach out to all of them. I mean, I do, but she knows these 3 people that have parties, that have a lot of friends. Oh God, Samantha, she would kill it at a party. And so when they hear from their host that they should host, when she's telling them how easy and fun it is, they're going to book. So I almost always get 2 or 3 parties from every party I do. And my intention is to flip her at the end of her party and to tell her, be like, look, you already have a booming business. We're just going to change the name of your VIP. You already have your VIP group set up. I just have to rename it for you. And you have your next 3 parties booked, which I will help you run together. We will do it together. Instead of me doing it and making a commission, you're going to make all the commission on these next 3 parties. Rock solid. So my goal is always to enroll in a party, and it's always to help set up my hosts to be a stylist, to be a successful stylist in her business. Good question. Okay, so what do you say to show her she can do this business? Okay, so great question, Lindsay. One, you need to connect with their objection, like the feel, felt, found method. You need to never downplay it, never act like it's stupid. You need to relate to them. Okay, so a lot of times they're like, oh, I wish I could. I'm just not very good at selling, or I just don't have any friends. Whatever it is, you need to be like, wow, like, girl, I totally relate to that. Like, that is a really common thing. Like, I too felt that way. You need to validate how she feels first. Okay, so always validate her, always recognize it as valid. You have got to discuss it, and you've got to be out in the, you don't have to fight it. You don't have to come up with reasons why it's not true or why she's overthinking it. Whatever she's thinking in her head is true at the time. Okay, and then I love to use third person stories, third person narratives, where they can identify themselves in. And maybe it's not you. Maybe like you're not like, I too was broke with a husband that lost his job, but there's someone on your team that has excelled, that had the same problem. There's someone that she can identify with, that you can tell, you're like, what, I that's a really common thing. A lot of women on my team also felt that way. They also had this issue. In fact, I just enrolled this girl named Suzanne, and her husband lost his job and they had 6 kids, and she thought she didn't have the time to do this. She really didn't, but she enrolled, and you know what? She's loving it. This has been like something that has changed her life. She's now able to contribute to her family income. And we've found ways to work around the business to where she's only doing it about an hour each day, and she breaks it down into little half-an-hour chunks. Would you like more information on how Suzanne does that? Because I'd love to show you how she makes it work for her. So you don't have to be like spammy pammy all the time. I like to use third-party stories, and I like to really connect emotionally with them, validate what they're feeling. That is a true feeling that they have. How can she work past it? And so sometimes they'll see themselves in that third person story. And then you can always ask them an open-ended question at the end. Don't just tell them the story without a reason for them to engage. So then I would end it with like, hey, would you like more information on how you can fit this into your busy schedule? Or what if I said I had some solutions for you on how you can come up with the money to get your kit? Would you be open to hearing them on what some other stylists have done to afford their kit? Then you can come at them with a possible solution and see if they want to hear more. But that's a really, really good question. They can do this business. We all think that we can't first. So understand their feelings, validate it, use a story, whether it's your own or another stylist on your team, and then ask them an open-ended question to get more information to them, would be my suggestion there. Let's see. All right, so I want to hear your goals. How many no's are you going to be filling out this month, you guys? How many no's are you going to be going for? I want to hear what your goals are. Okay, I got the question. How do you respond to I don't have the money objection? This one is really tough for me and I hear it often. Okay, I love that you asked this. In fact, in my last stylist that I just enrolled this week, just had that objection. I'm going to pull it up and read it to you, actually. There are multiple ways that I handle this. And again, this is why we do that 3 or 4 point touch system with someone before we ever bring up the opportunity, because you're never going to have a black and white answer for someone. It should always be tailored to them and their needs. And me responding to her this way would be different than I would respond to another woman. So you need to get in their shoes and speak psychologically to her. What is her hang up? What does she need to hear for her to believe in herself? So I'm going to pull up, what's her name? All right. Okay, I actually love the money objection one. It's one of my most common. It's one of the best ones you can get, to be honest. If someone doesn't have $129 to buy the kit, they need this business. Remember, we're not selling nails. We're selling a life-changing opportunity. We're selling the opportunity for her to dig herself out of that hole and for her to have money to spend on her family. So this is not a negative objection. You switch this and flip this, and you're like, girl, I'm so sorry to hear. I too was broke. I had been a single mom. I had a butt ton of debt. I had student loan debt. This is where I connect. I can't find her message right now, but I'm just going to paraphrase what I said to my new stylist. She told me I had been asking her, this is probably the 6th reach out I had had. She was a successful party host of mine. I've been trying to flip her, trying to enroll her. I knew about this bundle coming up. I knew about the launch coming up. I knew now was the time. And I was offering party links to all my past hosts. I was like, hey, really easy. If you want to earn the August incentives, I'll just create a party link for you. I'll send you a list of everyone that engaged or ordered in your party. You can send it out. There's no party, no post, super easy if you want me to do that. And she's like, yes, I want to do another one. And I was like, bingo, she's going to enroll. And she had been telling me the money thing forever. And previously I talked to her. I knew that they were a Jeep family. I knew her husband just got a new Jeep, and I knew that they didn't like debt. I knew that they didn't want the car payment, and they were working really hard to pay off the car. And I knew that her husband was the holdup. I knew just by talking to her, talking about him and what he wanted. And I was like, I need to convince the husband. That's what I need to do here. I know she's telling me it's the money. What I need to do is convince the husband to give her the money. And so she was like, you know what? I really wish I could. I just don't have the money right now. And so my response to her was, you know what, Jessica, like, I totally relate. I know that you feel like that's silly, but I felt that way too. I was working 50 hours a week and was in debt up to my eyeballs, and I didn't have an extra $12 in my checking account. I really understand where you're coming from, but hear me out. I think that it's that reason alone that's why you need this business. This business, what it's done for me financially, for my family, I can't even tell you. I used to not have a single dime for spending money. And because I scrounged and asked for $50 from my parents and, put the other like 50 on a credit card, I found a way to make it happen, even though it was really hard for me. And because I did that and worked my business really hard, I was able to pay off my kit in the first 2 weeks, and I didn't have any debt. And then I was bringing in income for my family. I felt really good that not only did I not have spending money, but I was able to help pay for Christmas for my family the first year. So I took her negative, I related to it, I used a personal story, and I showed her why I'm providing a solution to her problem. All I'm doing is providing solutions. That's it. If you want other solutions for that, I always give other people options like, hey, I have a stylist on my team. She did a huge ass garage sale. She sold everything on OfferUp. She was really committed to getting this kit. She didn't want to borrow or put it on a credit card. And all she needed was, $150. And she made more than that in one day. And she was able to enroll debt-free, and she had her kit paid for. I tell people about Klarna. Now, we can't advertise it. Home office says that we cannot advertise Klarna, but if people like to break it down into payments, I tell them that is an option for them. I say, hey, do you have friends and family that believe in you? I saw your party. You had like multiple people ordering from you. Is there anyone that would loan you the money for the kit, and you could pay them back when you get your first or second commissions check? I can teach you how to have a successful business if you want to work. I tell them like, hey, do you have a credit card? What I did, like, I didn't have the money either. I put it on my credit card, and that was my reason to work my butt so I could pay that off before the interest came due. So I give that. It's not my job to tell them what they can and can't do, but I can give them solutions to their problem. Lindsay, if you don't have a personal story, you find one. There's someone on your team that has a personal story that they can connect to. Definitely. And you can use your team page post. Be like, hey, I'm trying to enroll this girl. Can anybody relate to this issue? I have a girl that has 6 kids, and she's a full-time nurse. Anyone here have a similar life story that care to share how Color Street has changed their life? Very easy. You can use their story. I use other people's stories all the time because I find that other people are more relatable than me. No one can relate to someone that hit executive in 5 months and national in 9 months, but they can relate to my friend Suzanne with 6 kids and is struggling every day. She's pretty freaking relatable. So I use her story a lot. Aaron asks, do you typically have single host parties? Do I ever do multi-host parties? Yes, I got really good at single host parties first, and now I do multi-host parties because it's easier time-wise for me. But I do tell my stylists to start with singles first, get really good at your house coaching, get really good at your flipping. It makes it easy to flip them because I do a 7-day private group Facebook party because that's long enough for me to teach her how to be a stylist. She gets her groove, she learns how to schedule posts, she's gone live once in the week. Like it's a longer party for sure, but sometimes people don't even accept to add in or join until like day 3, 4, or 5. So I'm teaching her how to do all the things I want a stylist to do. So that's what works for me. And then I can rename her group, and she already has a VIP, like it's rocking and rolling. She has a system down, people know the product. I start with singles, and then now I do I call them mega parties or girls' nights in, where I have 4 or 5, and I only do like 2 a month. So I'm doing 8 to 10 parties, and it feels like I'm only running 2. So yes, I do. And then I can hostess coach all my hosts together, which saves me a ton of time if I put them in a group chat and I'm like, hey, we're 2 weeks out. Let me show you how to hype your party up. This is how you do a poll. This is how you show your nails, blah, 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 blah. So I can do that with all my hosts together to save time. Definitely. Good questions, guys. Yay, Christina is going for 50 no's this month. That's amazing. That's so good. And you guys think long game. The people I enrolled this month, I started working on 6 months ago. So you need to consider enrolling, planting the seeds. Not everyone is almost no one is an immediate yes for me. It is planting the seed and watering it and waiting for it and watering it again. And in 6 months, you're going to have the best enrolling month of your life. You're going to be on the top of those charts. If you start planting those seeds now and taking good care of people and being authentic and making it about them, you will be a top enroller without a doubt. Without a doubt. But it takes time. Like, you can't be like, I suck, I failed, I got 50 no's this month. Right. But those 50 no's can turn into yeses. They really will. A lot of them will. If you are consistent and you approach it with a positive mentality. I hope that this was helpful, you guys. I've never really talked about my hot list before. If you can see mine, I keep mine where I can see it every day. I'm not fancy. I don't have fancy systems. I too am like a pen and paper kind of person, but I have it right on my whiteboard where you can see it. So mine is right here. In the red is my hot list. In the like teal is my cold list. And I have 1, 2, 3, oh, it just enrolled her. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 on my hot list. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on my cold list. Okay, so those are people like I find excuses, like do launches, do this. I have one gal that's on my cold list that she said no, but she's amazing. She had an in-home party. I know she's getting her master's, and she said, hey, I'm really stressed right now, but I do want to do this. Boom, cold list. So I'm like, what? I'm stalking her Facebook. I'm hitting her up like about launches. I'm like, hey, just a reminder, you're still gonna be great at this. Do you want a second party? I'm gonna hit her up. I'm waiting for her to graduate. And I'm gonna be like, okay, let's do this now. You're ready. So she's always on my radar. Because if I don't write those down, I'll forget to check in with them. I have got to have my hot and cold list always written down where I can see them. And you guys need to be sharing your wins. Share your wins to the objections that you get. So if you're friends with me on social media, like I'm sharing my wins and people don't even know that they're wins. Where I'm like, I was like, my life is so blessed. I can't believe I'm sitting here on a Thursday day having ice cream with my daughter. You guys, that's a win. You think people can't connect the dots? Oh, they can. I'm not like, thank you, Color Street. Like I posted these new leather chairs that I got for my living room and a new mirror that I got in my dining room. I wasn't like, thank you, Color Street. Women can connect the dots. They know what we're doing. They're like, wow, I want what she has. How cool. If it's time, if it's like, if I'm on vacation, I'll take a picture of my planner on my phone. I'm like, oh, just decided to go to the beach last minute. Amazing. I can run my business and do this too. Every single day, almost, I'm in little ways showing how amazing this is to people. So if you're not showing your wins, you can find a win every single day without it being a big, glaring, obvious, thank you, Color Street post. Little tiny wins every day add up. And I've had a lot of people on Instagram randomly, because I'm really active in my stories, people I don't know, randoms that are like, hey, I'm ready. And I'm like, okay, who are you? And they're like, I've been following you forever. And like, I have seen your success and I think it's so amazing what you've accomplished and I want what you have. I didn't even know these people existed. I did not know they were watching me, but they watch your wins and they watch your stories. So be really good at posting how Color Street has changed your life and how it has, in whatever way possible. Just make sure you're doing it within policy. If you are talking about Color Street, you're saying anything that has to do with lifestyle, income, or anything else, make sure you're posting that earning statement with the income disclosure. Do it smart, do it right. But I'm posting wins almost every day.
Ashley, can I ask you something that's a little bit off topic from enrolling? I think a lot of, primarily the people that are on here right now are senior stylists, team leaders and above. So I'm curious, with you enrolling at the insane rate that you are and the amount of placements that you have, this is kind of a loaded question, but what tips or like strategies could you share about placement? I know that you are one of the top producers of leaders. So do you build the team leader and then you're kind of like, okay, girl, I got you to team leader. You've got the placement option, duplicate it. Or like just kind of some insight from you as a major enroller with placement.
I love the topic of placement because my enroller never helped me. Besides giving me the link to sign up, no one, like it took me 5 or 6 months to even find a mentor in the business. No one helped me past enrolling. So I had to bumble and make a lot of mistakes. And I didn't even know about placements until someone like told me, like I had like 15 people in my top line and nobody told me about placements. Anyways, but I did a lot of things wrong. When you're enrolling 16 people a month, I blew past everyone in my, almost everyone in my upline and their abilities. So no one knew what to do with me. No one knew how to coach me on placements. And so they'd be looking and they're like, dude, I just did the math. You know that you could go, I double promoted 1 month. I went from team leader to senior director between December and January. Like that's how much enrollments can do for you. And I was just like, whoop, 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 place here. Okay, I can hear here, place here. And I didn't know what I know now. And because I built people that weren't the best leaders, I have had legs fall. You guys, I built 2 people into executives, ghosted me, just quit the business. Do you know what it means to build an executive and then drop out and your whole leg falls? I do. You know, I'm like, that's probably tens of thousands of dollars that I lost. I built another senior director almost entirely from scratch. Horrible leader, uncoachable, doesn't want it. So now what I'm looking for with placements is I'm looking for someone that knows how to enroll, is willing and is trying. I will never place under someone that cannot enroll themselves, ever. How can they build their own? I would have to build their whole team. Why would I do that? I have to plug holes for them the rest of their time. So if for me to make a placement with someone, I'm looking for someone that can enroll. I'm looking for someone that is booking nail bars. They are not always my top seller. Your top sellers are not your best leaders. In fact, sometimes they're very selfish. I'm looking for someone that can enroll. I'm looking for someone that is hosting nail bars and is working their business properly because I need them to teach my peeps how to do nail bars. And I'm looking for someone that is coachable. I need a relationship with them. And I'm never going to place under someone like, no, I won't do that. No, that's not that. Nope, nope. I want someone enrolling, nail barring, and coachable is what I'm looking for. And I want somebody that want, and I'm having a conversation with them first, like, hey, what are your goals in this business? Like if there were no barriers or objects, what rank would you like to be at? You know, how many hours a day do you right now commit to your business? In the future, you know, do you foresee anything causing you a barrier to working your business? Like I'm asking these conversations. I never promise a placement to anyone, but I'm building relationships with who I think I want to place under so I can see if it's a good fit for my people. And I teach my downlines to play smart, not immediate gratification. So I have a couple girls who have placements and they could have placed a hit director last month. But I looked at their tree and I said, talk about this placement. If you place this girl under this girl, does she deserve it? Is she a runner? Is she ever going to build your team? Is that a good placement? Because your person you're placing is a rock star. Is the person you're placing under, can they teach you how to do nail bars? Well, no. Can you get a hold of this person? Are they coachable? Will she get on a coaching call with you? Well, no, she kind of ghosts me. Okay, so do you think long-term that's a good placement? Is that the leg you want to grow? Well, no. Okay, well, so maybe it's a smarter decision to wait. You're going to miss this rank this month. I know it's the ready to rank. You're missing a promotion, but long-term, you don't want to build a house of cards. You want to build under a smart, good leader, and it's better to wait and make the smart, ethical choices instead of helping you hit rank. So now I'm very conservative on placements and I tell people to make sure they're really doing the right thing. I hope that helps.
No, I think that's very good because that's something that we've talked about a lot just with the leaders on our team is building a house of bricks instead of, like you said, a house of cards where it's sustainable, where we're not just building a leg that doesn't want to work or doesn't want to enroll. And I love that you just said that, like if they're not enrolling, partying, and they're not coachable, then don't build under them because we all have that one leg where it's like, oh my gosh, I put all these placements there. I'm hounding them the last day of the month, trying to pull it together. And, you know, it's just where if, like you said, if we knew then what we know now, we probably would have done things differently. But I think that we all make those mistakes in the beginning and it's a lot of excitement when you first get that placement feature. So you really want to rank promote very quickly. But when you really look at the big picture and the long-term mindset, I think that it really makes you think about things differently and just kind of finding those people that have similar goals with you that can lock arms with you and just continue to go. And I think that makes it a lot easier when we talk about duplication. Before we started, Ashley, when I was talking to you about a lot of girls on my team asked me, how do you duplicate it? How do you have your downline do what you're doing? And that answers it right there. You build under people that are enrolling and that are partying, and then it'll just continue to happen. And when we do build under those people just to hit that rank, I think that's when we really hit that wall and we're struggling. And it's basically like, okay, do I start from the ground up and build a whole brand new leg and let this other leg do what it's going to do? Which in theory, that's the right thing to do, really, is to start over and build a leg with, you know, an Ashley South or a Kelly France and let that leg take off, as opposed to carrying that baggage from that leg that really causes you headache every single month. So I love that.
Some of my best leaders, and I don't know if you guys know my story, but a lot of Color Street higher level leaders do. I built a house of cards, hit national really fast. My strongest leader, my senior executive director, the person that made me a national, and I have two really strong leaders. Both are senior executive directors at one time. But this person was like a great friend of mine. She was a great nurturer. I'm pretty hard ass, and she on the team was very nurturing and loving. And so naturally, I put a lot of my stylists I place for personality. Like there's a lot of stylists that I enroll that need a lot of mother henning. I'm not the person for that. So I make sure I place them with someone that's very patient, very caring, provides them with things I cannot provide them with. And so I would place under this leader. She was great at that. I trusted her. I've known her for 25 years. But if I had looked at just that what I talked about, enrolling, nail bars, and coachable, she wasn't any of those things. I trusted her. She's my friend. She did great. She wanted to create her home team space, and she made shirts, and she had a great culture. But at the end of the day, just recently, she left. I had probably placed a ton of placements under her. A lot of my leaders, she had 4 strong legs, 3 of which were all mine. I mean, she had placed under them too, but her top line leaders were 3 out of 4 were mine. And I was like, wow. And so overnight, I went from being a national to like sometimes a senior director. I'm talking tens of thousands of dollars lost when I should have just looked at, like, she didn't want to host nail bars. I couldn't get her on a coaching call with me to save my life. And so now I would rather, it's long-term versus short-term. Like you said, the house of brick versus the house of cards. I would rather take a hit now, like I'm not making the money I used to, and build strong long-term. In a year and a half, I'm gonna have a much better sustainable business where I can, if you build leaders, that's the way to success in this business. It is not selling and parties, it's build other leaders. Teach people how to lead, and you will have the best team of your life. And so I haven't started a new leg yet. She had such a deep leg that I was able to, when she left, I was like, okay, let's see what she's got. Let's see who shows up to this meeting, who reads this book. You guys, I found my next Ashley South on her line 6. She's there. She just needed someone to mentor her. And you've seen her name twice now. She's on the top 50. She's like top 10 enroller every month now. She's killing the game. And she was a diamond in the rough, waiting to happen, waiting to work with me. It was like a God thing. Like I needed that to happen. I lost my leader. I lost a ton of money. But in it, I found this person way down that is a shining star. And so sometimes things happen for a reason. And I love working. It rejuvenates me so much. I found other leaders in her legs too that want this. I don't care how far down you are. If you want to lead and build, I'll work with you and I'll mentor you. I'll match your effort. So if you're putting in the work, I'll work with you too. And yeah, if it comes down to it, I have the skill set to build a new leg. I know how to enroll. And that's the beauty. If you can enroll, you can lay off, you can relax for a month or two, chill. And then if stuff goes down and you got to plug some holes, you can pick it right back up again and knock out 100 of these because you know what to do.
So Ashley, can you tell us, with you being at a national level, what does your typical month look like? What percentage of your time is on your personal business? What percentage is with your leaders, and what percentage is with your overall team? Because I know you have your Road to Executive team, your main team, and your personal business. So how does that look with spreading your time out?
Right now it's very busy, only because I lost that leader. So now I'm back in build mode. Like I'm in like, come on, let's enroll. Like there's different seasons of your business. And when you hit like national, you'll learn that there's seasons to work on leaders and really focus on mentoring. And then there's seasons where you have to pick it up, like trip earning period. You got to pick it up. You got to enroll. You got to do these things. And so for a while there, I was really focused on mentorship and building leaders. The best way to grow in this business, either you have to do everything for everybody, or I can build more Ashley Souths. And my coach told me, she goes, I don't ever want to see you on another leaderboard ever again. If you're doing things right in your business, I will start seeing your people on those leaderboards. What you need to do is spend your time teaching them to do what you do. You get the best at it and you teach your people, which is what I was doing. And it took months, and now I'm seeing it. They're all up there on those leaderboards. I'm like, yes. So that was really nice. And I was probably spending 3 hours a day with my business. I break my days out in my week, and I'll tell you about that. But right now, since my largest leader left and my goal is to get back up to national, I'm juggling both. I don't want to give up on, I'm not willing to give up on my road to exec or building leaders. I will not drop that. It's been the most rewarding thing I've ever done. But now I'm bumping up the nail bars. Before, like when I was in coast mode building leaders, it was like, I still do 3 or 4 nail bars a month, like whatever, like those are easy. I can coast on those. I'd enroll maybe 1 or 2 a month because I'll never stop enrolling. You have to keep enrolling. But now I'm in full boat mode. Now I'm in go for no mode, back to build. I got to rebuild some of that structure in that leg. I need to build some strong leaders. I need to get a new senior executive director like now. So now I'm doing both. So now my days are more like 5 or 6 hours, but some days I don't work at all. Some days I do. But typically my business is about 3 hours a day. I work mostly mornings, and I break it down by days. Like Monday is like my planning day, where I identify who I need to follow up with, which leaders I'm going to work with. I schedule out my posts for that week and I plan my whole week out. Tuesday is like my hostess coaching and my follow-up day. So that's just me connecting with people. It's also the day I'm going to be doing these. Just building relationships, basically. Tuesday's relationship day. Thursdays are always my coaching days. So coaching always goes on Thursday. So we have our Road to Executive meetings on Thursday nights. If I'm mentoring someone and I offer them a coaching call, I'm typically doing that on Thursdays. Sometimes I'll move my schedule around for them as well. I also, like on Wednesdays and Fridays, that will be like my everything else day. Like if I want to do a live sale, I'll do it on Wednesday or Friday. If I need to do mailings or send out samples or gifts, I do it on a Wednesday or Friday. I'm not trying to do all the things each day, and I'll fit other things in there as it goes. But, and then I move it around. Like if I want to take a tennis lesson on Friday, it's my work day, whatever. I'll move it all to Wednesday, or I'll move it to the following Monday or anything else. And then I spend one day a month handling my VIP group. So my VIP group is not where my income comes from. Like it's fun, but a lot of stylists spend all their time in their VIP group. And I'm like, girl, 3/4 of my income comes from parties. 3/4 of all my enrollment have been a connection from a party. Your business is your parties. And so I schedule 3 posts a day in my VIP. I spend one Sunday, I go out in the front yard, I take a chair out, I watch my daughter rollerblade or on her scooter in the sunshine. And I have albums in my phone. I don't know where my phone is. But every time I'm on social media, I find a cool game or engagement picture or a nail feed. And I have albums in my phone. So when I'm out and about scrolling and trolling social media, I'm like, cute nail feed, save in the folder. Cute game, save in the folder. Funny meme, save in the folder. So that Sunday, I sit down, I pull out all these things I've saved. I'm like, scheduled morning, always a meme. Middle of the day, always an engagement post. End of the day, nail feature. And I just schedule those 3 out, boom, 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 for a whole month. So if life gets crazy, or I got to bump up to 2 parties, or I'm going to try to onboard 6 stylists in 1 month, my VIP is rock solid. I can get in there and engage, but I don't have to stress about any posts in there, and it's already done for a full month. So I try to get ahead of my month. I schedule all my parties way out. And then I teach all my team to BQ by the 15th. We call it the 15th to the 14th. And we always try to do some sort of IPA to get cash in hand at the end of a month. So we have cash ready to redo our stock and make that order. So my team is BQ'd on like 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th of the month. And so no one's stressing to hit goals.
I love that. So Ashley, so you feel like basically just the 3 posts a day in your VIP group and that's it? And then maybe you throw like a live sale in there or something, but so you don't really sit down and do like a whole lot of planning for your VIP group. Your main focus is your partying.
Yeah. I mean, if I have time on a day and I will add other things into my VIP group, but it's at will when I have time. Like I'm not stressing it. Like when I got COVID, you would never know. No, none of my team knew I had COVID. I was sleeping like 14 hours a day. None of my team knew I had COVID. I plan things out in my team page, like training videos, and I plan out like motivational posts and stuff like that. So my business runs as usual. Like shit could go down. I could be in the hospital and my business would be right on track. I may not be as present. I may not do a live or whatever, but I try to make it to where you have to prepare for adversity. Like everybody on my team, they're like, well, I wish I could be cute, but my husband went in the hospital. I'm like, yeah, you plan for that. That's why we're like grown adults here. You plan for things to happen and you get smart with your business and like that. I'm never not going to be cute. Like my parties, I can move around. My parties are set on Post My Party or Bizly. Like really the goal is to automate your business so that you're not stressing at the end of the month. So yeah, but my VIP is not where the money's at all. It's parties.
Well, that's very good to know. And I was going to ask you, with all the parties you're doing, if you use like a 3rd-party scheduler, because when you're doing that amount of parties, I feel like nobody has time to schedule out 8 parties. Like that's just crazy, the amount of time that goes into doing that.
Well, you do if you do a mega party. If you technically, if you did all 8 of your hosts in one mega party, that's just one party you have to do.
Right.
It's pretty easy there. So I just say work smarter, not harder, get good at single parties and then start doing mega parties where you do it once I try to do an end of the month one because I have a lot of teacher friends and they always get paid at the end of the month. And then I always do one like early in the week. And so whatever, if I can get 5, 6, 7 in one, like that's banging. Like I'm going to enroll from those. I'm going to get a ton of orders from those. And so, yeah, the scheduling is hard right now, but I'm in a building mode. Once I can get my team structure repaired, I'll probably kick back down to maintenance mode where I'm doing more like 3 or 4 parties and I focus more on leadership. And then I'll be spending more one-on-one time with my leaders. I'll be having them run through their schedule. I'll coach them on time management. I love building leaders. The best thing in my job is building other leaders. That's what I love to do.
So can I ask you quickly about your parties? You said you do a 7-day online party. Is there a highlight of the party that's like a 1-hour game night? Like, how do you kind of structure your parties? Do you start with an early bird special and then the game night?
Well, I try to like make them as easy as possible. So I do a lot of pre-planning and pre-coaching. 2 weeks out, I send her hostess packets and I don't do samples. It's a waste of my time. I do send her a bunch of my business cards and my business cards have a QR code for people to order and it goes right to the link. I make her hostess link 2 weeks out and I have a link tree. So like it can be like shop for Sally, shop for Susie, shop for Samantha, whatever. So her people can go to my website and shop for her whenever. But I tell her, my host, I'm like, hey, anyone that makes an order before your party starts on August 14th, they get a free pair of earrings from me. So and I teach her how to hype it up. I want you showing people your nails at work. I want you making a post in your stories. I want you blah, 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 blah. So typically most of my parties have 3, 4, 5, 6 orders before they even start. Usually they're already qualified before they start. And then, yes, the first day of the party, I do an early bird special for the first 5 orders. They get twosies. They get like accent nails. And also something I do in my parties is they have a prize they can win every day. This is a draw to get people to come into the party. Because like you said, there's a bunch of Facebook parties. There's nothing like, what the heck? We get invited to a ton of them. So I make sure my host knows, and in the description of the party and the invite she sends out to people, I put there will be prize giveaways every single day, games and prizes you can win every day. And so on that, I have different games that they can win and participate on because I want engagement. I want the algorithm to show up good. And I give away free sets because I'm sitting on like a butt ton of them. I'll give away free sets all day. But in order for them to claim their free set that they won, they have to make an order to support their host. So I'll do a post like, yay, today's game is guess how many nails in the blah, 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 blah. And if people aren't participating like I want, I tell my hostess, I'm like, hey, I need you to tag 15 people in this post, babe. And so she's getting people to participate. And I tell her like, hey, tell them so they can win this set of nails. And I do a boomerang, like I show the set that they're going to win. And then I pick a winner the next day. Guys, the winner is always someone that hasn't made an order yet. I'm going to use these prizes to my advantage to build my business. Okay. And I'm always like, oh my God, Samantha, look at this free set of nails you won. Congratulations. Let me know when you make an order to support Sally and I'll send your free set right out to you. Boom, done. So I'm not wasting a set of nails for someone that's never going to support her host. That's so tacky and janky and it used to infuriate me. So now I'm like, bye. Like, you don't want to make an order, you don't get your free set. But women will order. People that would not have ordered in a party will order to get that free set. I see it all the time because I start off day one with a party poll post and they can win a free set just for participating on that post. And what I see is like a lot of people, like they pick like option 4, which is like, I would love to buy, I just don't have the money right now. Oh, you watch. When they win a prize on day 4, all of a sudden they have the money to make an order because they want their free set. I'm like, weird how that works, but it works.
All right, does anybody else have questions?
But really, you guys, doing those parties is a method for enrolling. If you can, and I'll send you over my hostess coaching training that I did today. If you can coach them properly, you can flip them. I flip about 3 and 4 hosts. So if I'm hosting 8 nail bars a month, you can see how I can get such high enrollments. And then they're pretty squared away. They know how to post, they know the algorithm, they know how to schedule. If you can flip a host, it's 10 times easier than enrolling a random.
And then Ashley, are you running launch parties for all of your new girls or are they doing it themselves?
If they were going to host a party with me and I enroll them before their party starts, I'd be like, hey, we'll continue on with your party. We'll just make it a launch party. Because before the party starts, a part of my coaching is always to approach them with the opportunity. If they just enroll, I give them ideas and tips and posts and show them how to run their own launch party. I don't do it for them. There's no way when you enroll at the rate that I do, I cannot run everybody's party for them and run my own personal business.
Yeah, that's why I was curious, because you enroll like crazy. So I don't know how you'd keep up with it if you did.
Yeah, I teach them to run their own, because I also want people that work. Like if people are expecting me to do everything for them, I don't want them on my team. I want people that are willing to try and mess up and fail and bumble. Like try PostGirl. Like I show them how to keyword search. I show them how to find posts in my group. I'll give them topics to cover in their first week and post ideas, and they can ask me for a post, you know, whatever, but I'm looking for workers. And I don't care if 5 of the 6 that I enroll a month fall off. What I'm looking for is builders. That's it, really.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but
I don't see any other questions over there. So I don't know if you have anything else to add, Ashley, but this has been, oh, Anne asked a question.
Do I offer something to people who schedule to do a party or just the rewards from sales on their party? Oh, good. I like that you asked this. Yes, I set myself apart. In fact, let me show you my document here. So, because so many people have multiple stylists that they buy from in parties, I do something a little different. So this goes out in every mailing I do. So not only everything I mail out gets an opportunity brochure, always. You guys have them. If you're not putting it in everything you mail, you should be. That's just like one more way to enroll, or someone's husband picks it up and looks at it. So they always get an opportunity brochure every time. And then I created this just on Vistaprint. It's all my own pictures. Like which type of nail bar do you want? Or do you like an in-person nail bar person or whatever? But I give them a free set of whatever they want when they book a party from me. And I have a treasure chest. It's a legit like pirate old school antique treasure chest. And I keep a ton of retired sets. Things that people can't get, my party hosts get to pick from that. So they can get a set no one else has if they book a party with me, or they can pick whatever they want online. I give them a hostess packet with all sorts of cute stuff. So it comes with like a rubber cuticle pusher, a glass nail file, and a little cuticle oil pen. So I'm spoiling them. I teach them to post that hostess packet when they open it up and on their social media so other people see how cool it is. And then I give them this little flyer, and this goes out in everything I mail too. And so when their party qualifies at 150, I also give them a really like hard to find Starbucks tumbler. I find them, like I have like connections where they're like, oh my God, there's like black studded ones at the Starbucks. And then I send my son to go get them. It's worth the money for me because then I never have a flop party. If my host knows that when her party qualifies at 150, that she gets the Starbucks tumbler, she's going to work. She's going to put in work, and she's going to book a party with me versus Joe Blow over there that's just giving her a free set. So I find ways to stand out and make my parties better than everybody else's. And whether that's like an additional Starbucks gift card or whatever, like you don't have to spend a bunch of money. You can be creative on it. It's something I do because I feel like the investment is worth it. For me to buy a Starbucks tumbler, because I'm flipping 3 out of 4 party hosts, the investment comes back for me. So yeah, y'all can go on Vistaprint and create your own. It's really cute. It's like cardstock. I just made it up myself. But other than that, you guys, thank you for hanging on. This was a long training. I'm so sorry. I will send over the recording to all of you. If there's any other questions that come through, you can send them over to me, Danielle. I appreciate that. Okay. And then I'll send you the hostess coaching one as well.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. This has been so good. It is a long training, but I feel like every single minute of it was very beneficial. So you definitely covered a lot. So thank you so much, Ashley. Everybody's saying thank you.
Thanks for joining me. Have a good day.
Bye.